So I want to share something that's rather important, just this short post I found. Our God expects and requires are all in caps. Our God expects and requires that we remain free. If we fail to meet our obligation, Book of Revelations plays out. Is it not playing out in varying degrees as a result of us skirting our responsibilities as we the people? So, I have something to say about this. First of all, and I would imagine most people might agree with me on this. Book of Revelations doesn't come forward because of what man does or doesn't do. It's a fallen world regardless. God knew this. This is diminishing God. And this is saying that you have a way of preventing it. So this is interesting if you really think about it, because who wouldn't want the Book of Revelations to play out? I mean, I get that there's a lot of scary parts to it, but the Book of Revelations is all about truth. And it's all about the wicked being eliminated, not the children of God. But the wicked would want to make it seem like that you need to do things in order to gain God's favor. You need to do things to get free. Was there anything that when God was leading the Israelites out of Egypt, out of their slavery, wasn't it God leading them? I mean, he was talking to Moses, but ultimately it was God providing the way. All he did was say, don't worship false idols and put full faith in me. And yet they kept worshiping false idols. But it's interesting because he never said, go over here and vote, go do that. I mean, so this is somebody who's very misguided, or I could see deep state writing stuff like this. As if to say, if you don't want Book of Revelations to come for you, you better stand up for freedom. Well, people should stand up, but not because they want to prevent God or prevent God from revealing truth. No. We should stand up for freedom because we put our full faith in God. But at the end of the day, God calls the shots here. So no amount of works, this is how misguided this person is, no amount of works will give you entrance into the kingdom. Because what happens is we come here with our soul intact and we're innocent, and then we're corrupted by this world and our heart becomes degenerate, all of us. And we can either remain there, in which case it will just become more degenerate and more worse and worse, or we can turn to God at some point. Usually it's some crisis moment, and we start trying to get to know God, and through that relationship God will start regenerating our heart. He will renew our heart. So this is somebody that either worships something completely different than the Bible but uses the word God, or maybe even uses the word Jesus but interprets the Bible very differently. Somebody that just sort of, skims through it. Somebody who's probably rather highly educated. And I'm not trying to rip on the educated people, but because your mind has been more conditioned on how special you are and how you would know best, and you know what the Bible means, this would be the trap you all will fall into. Though not all. There's that less than 1% of the highly educated that can truly put their education in science and math away to be in a humble place and realize that it is their educated mind that keeps them from the true connection. They may think they're connected to something, but whatever they're connected to, I would say that is probably not something good, or they're deliberately trying to mislead because they're deep state operatives, really. Because again, God expects and requires that we remain free. If we fail to meet our obligation, Book of Revelations plays out. The most key part there is Book of Revelations plays out. So that tells me this person maybe really is afraid of the Book of Revelations, is afraid of the truth being revealed, and is afraid that maybe they could be on the wrong side. In which case, I would say to that person, you should probably humble yourself, put aside the education, and look at what you've done. And I don't mean good things. What have you done to gain your wealth, your power, whatever it is? See, I think in order to truly find that path to God, you're going to be stripped from everything. Most people are. Maybe not every single thing, but you're going to have that moment in life where you're not going to just be born with it and it's always come easy to you. It's not going to be that way. Because of the world we live in, it corrupts all of us. So what's even more fascinating about this is that there's so many people that want the Book of Revelations to come, but the wicked wouldn't, because the wicked knows what is in store for them. So this could also be a way to redirect people away from God. And then everybody start doing things instead of building their relationship with God. It's fine to do things, but if you think this is old teaching where you're going to buy yourself a way into heaven. That's old Catholicism teachings, actually. You cannot do enough good works to get into heaven. The works don't matter. The works only matter once the heart is renewed. And when the heart is renewed, when God renews that heart, then you naturally will do those selfless things that come from God, and you find that He's leading you in a certain direction. But that certain direction isn't to working for elite families or having a bunch of money or running for office and wanting to be some, I don't know. But this person's misguided. The Book of Revelations isn't something that we can prevent. It's not. We don't know when it comes, but I think that a lot of people see it as already happening because of all the truth that's been revealed. But for those that haven't been walking a wicked path, they shouldn't be afraid of the Book of Revelations. They should be joyful, because it means finally the wicked and fallen world we've been living in will be done away with. See, we aren't all eliminated and turned to dust. But the wicked, those that are acting like they're going to diminish God as much as to say that we can prevent the Book of Revelations, these are the type people that if they don't get it together and get right with God and stop thinking their connection is the true answer to God, they're going to find themselves realizing one day that they are on the wrong side of it. And I don't mean that to sound pompous, but this is a complete, somebody that writes this is somebody that's too educated. Again, I say, there's a reason God didn't go to the experts of the Roman Empire, or Jesus. Jesus didn't go to the experts of the Roman Empire. Jesus didn't go to the elite college educated or the, rich people. He went to the nobodies because he knew they would be the ones that would understand this the most. And I would say to this person, that's what he totally misses with the Bible. The Book of Revelations is a scary time for the wicked, but it should be a joyful time for those that have followed the true pathway. And you cannot have the heart renewed without finding humility. And that's why usually people find it when they've been wiped out. I'm not saying that there's no other way. I've said how there is definitely a way. You just talk to God every day. You know, the best place to talk to God is where I am right now. When you're on a long drive, it's a great time to talk to God. When I first got sober, that's what I would do. I had a long drive to work, back and forth, and it became the best part of my day. So I would talk to God. I'd be like, I don't know if God's listening or hears me, but I'm going to talk to God. That's how it started. So it's a great, great opportunity is in the car. So I love the song by Maren Morris, My Church. She sings about her churches in the car. I guess you could say my Jeep is like my church in many ways, but I never knew it. But really, we, the people, we were founded under a covenant with God, yes. But that meant because the founders put God before everything. And people are allowed to worship the way they want, but don't let them mislead you into believing that you want to prevent the book of Revelations. Because this would be false doctrine that came from Catholicism that used to teach and even charge you so that you could gain a ticket into the entrance of kingdoms, the God's kingdom. They used to do that back in the day. And this person that posted this sounds very much like the same doctrine he's following. Don't follow it.